Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and joining me today, coming back, he's been a while since he's been here. October 2023 was the last time we sat down and chatted. Tom Grove, all the way from the UK. Whereabouts in the UK are you from?
I'm from a city called Portsmouth.
Excellent. So we're here to talk about the Yub-Nub, the Forgotten Ewok Adventures. Tom is directing it. He did it the funding through Kickstarter. I was one of the backers, just to be clear with this. I want to welcome you back to the podcast. How did the campaign go?
I mean, it went as well. Oh, I would like to say it went as well as I hoped it did. It did because we reached the goal it was set at. But I was surprised that it did reach the goal, because this is my first kind of proper feature documentary. I've made kind of shorts and bits here and there, what's gone on like YouTube and stuff, but this is my first proper feature and first thing to be like, I'm really serious about making documentaries and about kind of this kind of stuff. So then I was quite impressed the amount of people that did kind of back the Yub-Nub and kind of talking about it and going, oh, what is this? I'm interested in this. Even if they didn't donate, they shared and was talking about it online and going, oh, what's this? I am interested. I'll buy a copy or seek it out when it does sort of come out somewhere. So it was nice for people actually to care about it.
That's good. That's good to hear. I was more than happy to contribute towards this. I'm so excited for this documentary to come out. When we talk about Yub-Nub, the Forgotten Ewok Adventures, can you explain what are we referring to?
Well, obviously, Star Wars fans would know, Yub-Nub's kind of the thing the little teddy bears say, the Ewoks say. The famous actor Simon Pegg said, "Return of the Jedi, Muppets in space with the little teddy bears." But obviously, two Ewok movies, what came out sort of after Return of the Jedi, kind of went straight to TV kind of thing, and that they're not like the best thing ever made. They're not the best films ever made, but they're good and good at what they are. They're really great, like kids films. But then that's me saying kids films isn't me putting it down. They're very good with sort of morals and very kind of, I feel like they're good at like keeping a kids, like children's attention. More like if you sat a kid down to watch The Phantom Menace, you sat a 5-year-old down and watched The Phantom Menace, they're all talking about trade disputes and politics, and it's kind of like, just wait till you see like Darth Maul and your kid might like Jar Jar Binks. I don't know, just wait to them bits. But with the Ewok movies, it's very much a very, very easy gateway into getting really young kids into Star Wars. But then these are the kind of sort of parts of Star Wars where people got completely forgotten about them, like the holiday special, where people kind of forgotten about them because they weren't that great. But with the holiday special, that was genuinely pretty bad. But the Ewok films are actually a lot better than the holiday special. But I feel like over decades, those three things, holiday special and the two Ewok movies, kind of been lumped into kind of the handful of Star Wars features that's kind of gone into obscurity kind of thing. So that's why it's called the Forgotten Ewok Adventures, because if you know them, kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're available on Disney Plus. So you're doing a documentary on them, and if I recall, the way this came about was Eric was coming to London for a comic convention, and you were going to be going to that convention. Eric Walker, who played Mace Tawanu, the main character in the movie or in the TV series. I guess they're specials, TV specials. And you reached out to Eric and you said, "Hey, can I stalk you and film you while you're at the Comic Con?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." Yeah. And then as you guys were kind of talking, he brought up that he has all this video and photos and stories to tell, and he would really love to do a documentary one day. And Tom goes, I'll do a documentary. Am I right?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, because he kind of I found him on Facebook. I saw he was going to this convention called London Film and Comic Con, um, and I've been to this convention like for years. I've been going to this for like over a decade. This specific convention, and then I saw he was announced to be signing there for the weekend. So I was like, oh, I'm looking for. I've just finished a documentary series on my YouTube channel about King Kong, the history of King Kong and everything. And I was kind of like looking for my next kind of avenue of what do I do now? I finished a project and it's like, oh, what do I do now? So and then I saw Eric was there, and just off by chance, I just said, any chance I can kind of interview you and basically what you said, like stalk you, follow you about for over the weekend when you're in your trip to London. And he said yes. And then over the month or so before the convention, I got emails from him with files and folders of all this footage and behind the scenes pictures and everything. And I was just amazed at like all this stuff he's got, but then like no one has actually really seen some bits. Eric's put some bits and pieces on his YouTube channel and Facebook and whatever, but no, it's not like there's a lot more to it than what he's put on social media already. And hopefully, this documentary kind of puts it all together to make it make sense.
That's so exciting to hear. That's what I'm most excited to see is the behind the scenes footage of the filmmaking process and stuff like that. So it's 2023, December 2023. You do the fundraiser for the with a Kickstarter. You reach your goal. What happened then?
Well, I reached my goal, and then I was frantically running about thinking, oh crap, what do I do now? Right, it's actually reached the goal and people actually want to see it now. So I was running about, scrambling, trying to get all the bits and pieces together to send out to the people who backed the project on Kickstarter, trying to send them out at my local post office, running back and forth with all the hundreds of boxes, sending them to like Canada, America, Australia. There was even one from like Mexico, and it was like, oh, there was even ones I sent to Italy, I believe. And I was just amazed at like how like the distance of some of the parcels are going to. The lady who worked at the post office hated me after those couple of weeks because she was like, "Oh, he's here again with another 20 boxes she has to go through to make sure that you know." But no, yeah. And then after I got through all the sending stuff out eventually, that's when I kind of started spending some of the money from the backers on some more of the animation stuff by the group, the bunch of guys who's doing this animation for me for the film, getting some of that done and paying my composer and bits and just sort of using the money for kind of good use for the film.
I've seen tiny bits of the animation, like when you're interviewing one of the actors or one of the crew. I see there's this cute animation of the Ewok kind of shooting an arrow, but kind of puts their name on the screen. Very professional looking. Like I think I don't know how much you paid for it, but I believe it was money well spent on the animation. And same thing with some of the music I've heard as well. The composer you got is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the guys who did the animation for this, they're literally amazing. For the Ewoks was the first time I worked with them, so about probably like a year or like about 2 years ago when I first contacted them about Yub-Nub doing some stuff. But then since then, I've about a month last month I released a short film, and they did some animation for my short film as well. So I've got a good, nice relationship with them now after working with them on Ewoks. But then, like you said, my composer, I've genuinely like loved the guy. Like I've done stuff with him for the past like 5 or 6 years now. Kind of like every like documentary I've made, I've sent him a text going, "Well, do this for me," and he just goes, "Yeah, fine." because he knows, like, he knows how I work, and I know how he works, and he knows if he wants to get paid for it, he knows I can pay him, and he knows like the trust is there, and
Yeah.
that's what I like, and that's just kind of what I like to do. And I think
Excellent.
like every single documentary I'll make for the foreseeable future, um, I'm going to more or less have the same team with me. So the guy to do the animation for Ewoks will be doing my next film, and the guy who did the music for Ewoks will do my next film. Like, I'll always have the same people from now on.
Excellent, excellent. The other thing too that we were talking about the last time you were on was some of the people that you were looking to get. I know you didn't want to name a bunch of names, but you were looking to interview a lot of the cast and a lot of the crew. Warwick Davis was one of the ones that you were just kind of like lining up. We were waiting for him to have some free time, and the
Mhm.
stop motion master, is it Phil Tippett? Was that?
Phil Tippett, yeah, we got
Yeah,
Phil Tippett, yeah.
yeah, so he did the stop motion in Empire Strikes Back, like the AT-ATs and the Tauntauns and stuff like that. And he also did some stop motion in the Ewoks series uh,
Yes.
specials. Were you able to sit down with them or do an interview with either one of them? Or
No, Phil Tippett, yeah. I got him like surprisingly super easy.
okay,
Kind of like I reached out to his team, and they just kind of said, "Yeah, okay." Um, Sort of. So then I had to be like, okay, yeah, time, place, where, when, kind of. We'll sort it out. And it was that kind of thing where I said, whenever Phil Tippett's free and comfortable to do it,
hmm,
then I will be, because it's like I don't want to be like, oh, I can't do this, can't do that, can't do this time, because it's Phil Tippett. He's a Hollywood legend, so it's kind of
yeah,
like I need to sort of get him, like, get him in the documentary somehow. So even if it's like a short 5 minutes of him somewhere in the film, that'd be perfect. But I interviewed him for about an hour, and there's a quite a big good chunk of him throughout the film.
oh, very nice, very nice. And how about Warwick? Were you able to nail him down?
That's still a sticky situation with work at the moment.
Oh no,
I
okay,
haven't yet.
okay,
That's
all right,
that's I'll give you this. Um, that's one reason why the documentary has taken longer to do than I originally planned, because of I've been trying to sort stuff out with Warwick, trying to grab him in,
yeah.
trying to, hopefully, fingers crossed, it still could happen by the end of the year. But
Okay, but you do interview Kevin Thompson. The
yes,
he did was it Torok or Tok Tok? I can't remember. I don't know the
yes,
Ewoks that
yes,
well.
yes. But
Yeah,
he so a lot of the stories he said, even from Return of the Jedi to the two Ewok movies, he was just like, he said, I think his quote was, "It's just Kevin changing outfits. It's the Kevin show. Like they just, because apparently he was just so good at like doing the stunts in the suits, that they were just like, quick change, keep that head on. That head looks the same. The heads look the same. Just change the torso. Just change the suit, and
yeah.
then just go, and then now you've got the bow and arrow, and then you've got just a spear, and you got a rock, and just jump up there." And apparently that was kind of it for him.
Yeah, Kevin is an amazing person, and he has a book out. Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could remember. I bought the book actually. I'm just trying to remember what the name of it was.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
See, his book he did with his wife, wasn't it? I think, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. Him and his wife
Yeah.
wrote it together.
Yeah.
Anyways, who else are we did you were you able to interview?
Of course, Eric Walker,
Hmm.
obviously.
Yeah.
Nikki Patello.
Oh, Teak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to remember myself now. um, but no, yeah, but I was, sadly, um, a handful of the like main cast have kind of passed on. So
Yeah.
like a few of the guys who played some of the Ewoks, they're either quite old now and not in the best kind of way to interview now, and or they've passed on. So a lot of the actual Ewok suit actors, it was tricky to get some more of them in because of those reasons. But Carl Strucken, he from the second one, Terak, the villain from the second one, film, obviously famous for he was bloke in Twin Peaks, and obviously Lurch in Addams Family, the 90s, not 90s one. So he's in there. He was a lovely guy as well. But then quite a lot of it is what I figured out while making it was I managed to get quite a lot of the people who did like a lot of the effect, like a lot of the set builders and special effects and model makers and everything, and obviously they all know each other, working at ILM and everything. And so then watching it, there's a good like 20-30 minutes of the film where it just is completely focused on that, and they're all bouncing off of each other. They're all completely separate interviews. They didn't know I interviewed all of them, but then they're mentioning each other's names, talking about stuff they did. And one of them said they just had they got shouted at by a higher up because they brought in a record player and a massive speaker and just playing the soundtrack to Oklahoma really loudly. and playing Oingo Boingo just on repeat, and they were just making everyone just go crazy, just listening to the same two records over and over again.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited for these. And again, like I said, one of the coolest aspects of this documentary is the never before seen footage.
Yes. Yeah.
So, can you talk a little bit about that? I know I've seen the footage with Warwick drinking the grape soda 1,000 times already. Is there more than just that?
Yeah. What I was quite surprised about when I'm looking through a lot of the footage I was given, there's a good like 5-6 minutes of that sort of sketch of Warwick, like with different drinks and like sort of different ways he's like doing the advert for the drink, and it's just kind of mesmerizing watching it, going like, were they that bored sitting on their lunch break, like just doing that with this can?
Well, it seems like he's like doing an impromptu commercial for Welch's grape juice is what the video is. It's pretty funny. Have you figured out or decided how long this documentary is going to be?
It's going to be about 90 minutes.
Okay, good.
90 to 100 minutes. Yeah. So it's good length. It's long enough, but it doesn't overstay its welcome, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It gets the point across, kind of. Yeah, kind of thing. Because I've seen so many documentaries, even what's come out the last like 5 or so years, where they're just so long, and it doesn't get to the point of what the story is. And even it's like the documentaries are like very well done and well edited, and they've got some amazing interviews. But it's just like, okay, get to the point. That you're just dragging it along. And I didn't want this documentary to just be like, I remember the Ewok films. The people who made them, we love them, and we've got the small group of fans who love them, adore them. I didn't want it to just be that. I wanted it to be a part of that, but then also like the kind of slight negative aspect of it as well. But they're so forgotten. People just genuinely just don't talk about them, and about how the films are actually made as well, not just kind of a retrospective, like an hour and a half long retrospective. Oh, do you remember these? And then you've got like just 2 people who worked on it talking about it. No, I've got quite a load of, like we talked about, quite a few good people who made them to kind of fill in the gaps and actually tell the actual story of them.
Excellent. Did you have anything that surprised you that you learned or discovered while doing your research?
I was surprised the first film won an Emmy.
I did. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
For
I think
children, Emmy, I'm guessing.
I think it was for like matte paintings, like the background paintings and stuff. I think it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
And when I found that, I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." I didn't. It's a really random pick for to give an Emmy out for a film like a TV film like that. I was quite surprised.
Yeah. Um, so you're not we weren't around when these first aired,
No.
obviously. But now that you've done the research on them and I'm assuming you've watched them several times and whatnot. Do you consider
Mhm.
yourself an expert on these two films?
Um. Yes and no. It's kind of. I mean, uh, long answer, short, short. Kind of thing. Yes, I would probably say yeah, because I've talked to the people, watched them a bunch of times, and editing clips out of it, watched them behind the scenes. But it's like I've got to the point now where um, I can't sit and enjoy watching those Ewok films for the moment.
Hmm.
Like if I sit down and like watch one of them, I'm just like, ah, I can't stand these Ewoks anymore. They're they're just go away. Just because I've been working on the film for so long, it's go away for a minute. I don't want to see another Ewok for a bit. But that's not saying I don't love the films and love Star Wars and love Ewoks and whatever. I love it, love all of it to bits. But no, yes, but you're answered your question. Yeah, I'm probably more of an more of an expert than most. Even I've talked to people I know who are big Star Wars fans, and I mentioned about these two Ewok movies, and they kind of look at me blankly, going, "What you want about
Yeah.
what Ewok movies?" And
Yeah.
that's kind of the point of why I wanted to make the documentary. Like, yeah, they exist, and watch them. They're pretty good. They're not that bad.
There you go. So now that we established that you're considered yourself an expert, no, doing quotations.
Yeah.
Disney is really big on remakes these days. Do you think they should
Mhm.
remake Caravan and Courage and Battle of Endor as for one-offs for Disney Plus with today's technology and using the volume and everything, or are you happy with the way they are? And would it be a success if
I
they did?
I don't think there'll be a success if they did it, and
Okay.
also I don't think they should do it because I don't know. I mean, it'll be. I think if they did do it, I think it would probably fall into the same fate as what the Willow TV
Mm,
series
yeah.
happened on Disney Plus. They made it. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't awful. It was kind of it was all right, and it just kind of disappeared, and you just can't watch it like legally, and you can't buy it anywhere properly, and it's just like, well, we can't really do that. That was what, even if it wasn't like the best end product ever, it was just like that doesn't matter. You can't do that. So then I think if they did something like that with Ewoks, it'll go straight to streaming on straight on Disney Plus and have the same kind of fate of like if they can easily choose to like have it in a tax write off and just get rid of it, and then you just can't watch them anymore. But then on to your other point of actually remaking them, make like updating them with whatever
Yeah, I
Skynet
get.
AI they want to use on it, it's it'll lose the complete charm
Yeah.
of what they are. Like like if making like Ewoks like fully CGI and stuff like that, it won't work. Ewoks are people in suits,
Yeah.
like costume actors. That's stunt people in suits. That's what an Ewok is. But if they make it CGI, But then if they want to do like a cartoon or something, with that they could easily do that. But
Yeah.
then Disney, I don't think they kind of Disney and current Lucasfilm don't really know what they're doing with Star Wars properly. They seem a bit lost with like the angle they want to go towards.
Yeah, I feel like they're fishing almost, like they're shooting out lines, hoping to catch something that will work. and reel it in, but they're fishing in weird spots sometimes. What it is.
Yeah, yeah.
How about a Ewok holiday special? There we go.
Oh,
That's it's the
I mean, it
celebration
can't.
of the life day on Endor, on the forest moon of
It,
Endor.
yeah, it can't go as bad as it did last time.
Yeah,
The holiday
exactly.
special,
Here you
but
go.
you got to get
Um,
Bruce Valanche back on writing it again. But
do you have a finish line in sight?
I don't have like an exact date or anything, but I'm hoping to get like and the actual like finished edit of it sort of done by the end of this year. So then hopefully next year I can sort of throw it out and get it out there somewhere.
Yeah. And how about speaking about throwing it out there? Any distribution type plans, or what are your how are you going to get this
Uh,
out to the Kickstarter fans first, and then
yes, yeah,
anything else after that? What are your are you
yeah.
working on that?
Yeah, so the first thing is as soon as I'm happy with how the film is and it's done, the edit's done, I've got a finished film. The first thing is sending out the digital copies to the backers of the Kickstarter, and then after that we have to figure out what to do with it. Then how we're gonna sort of distribute it, get it out to the
Yeah.
public, and monetize it, or what have you, whatever way we could do it. But then hopefully there'll be people who'll be interested in doing that because I had such a great reception with the actual Kickstarter itself. So
Mhm.
hopefully when it comes to me actually fishing around for someone to pick it up and put it on a streamer or DVD or something, they'll kind of be like, yeah, we can see it's a success and it'll bring people along, and hopefully it'll get done.
Very exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing Stan Solo in the credits as a backer. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Um, I reached out to some of my Ewok fan friends and asked if they had any questions. Are you ready for some of those?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. Has anyone been able to provide any information about a third Ewok adventure movie that had been greenlight and then canceled after the budget went sky high in the second one? Has anyone given you a story or outline or treatment about how far along they were?
Um, Not necessarily. I know I have heard stories and read stuff, and people have told me in interviews and stuff about that the kind of mystery of maybe a third Ewoks thing, but really no. A lot of the people when I kind of brought up anything like that, they kind of didn't really say anything about it. They either didn't really say much about it, or they just said I don't know, I wasn't
Yeah.
involved, kind of thing. It's one of those kind of mysteries of Hollywood that
Yeah. Eh,
was it or
maybe
wasn't it.
2027 will be the third Ewok adventure movie. You never know.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah,
announce it at Star Wars Celebration this May. Watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
A new
Um,
adventure.
one of the questions that springs to mind is: has Tom gotten in touch with superfan Gus Lopez? I believe Gus has some beyond awesome screen use props and even matte paintings from the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage, as it is known in Australia and New Zealand back in May 1985 when it was released theatrically. Has Tom been able to photograph any rare film posters? And to show how, like a lot of questions here, were you able to reach out to Gus Lopez about any of the props he may or may not
Um,
have?
I personally, I don't think I have, but I have heard the name, and I have um, seen some stuff online about him, but I haven't personally reached out to him because what I feel like with a lot of that kind of stuff, with like say like fans owning props and stuff, and then taking pictures and stuff of their props they own, it's kind of like lovely. I would love to see it if anyone wants to. I'd love to see it, but to actually sort of put it into the film, it won't really work. Sort of
Yeah,
like it thematically and stuff, it won't really work if that makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense because you're doing something that happened like almost 40 years ago, more than 40 years ago, and
Yeah,
you're going to be showing stuff that this here it is today. It doesn't really add up.
yeah.
Would you come across any rare film posters? Were you able to take pictures of them or anything like that?
Unfortunately, not really, not
Okay.
really. Because sadly, obviously, not sadly, but a lot of the people who I interviewed kind of don't live in the same country as I do,
Yeah.
so I physically couldn't be face to face in person interviewing with them. So it's all been through the power of technology.
Hmm.
So it's so if anyone did have anything, they've shown me through sort of text and emails and or video call or what have you. But I haven't kind of seen anything in person or really got anything myself. To be fair.
Yeah. This is something we talked about the last time you were on, about how George always said that he made this for his daughter, Amanda Lucas,
Mhm.
and we owe a lot of her loving the specials so much that they were being made. Were you able to track her down at all?
Uh, no, I did actually look to
Okay.
try to maybe do that, but it's just it because I think trying to find her would be 10 times harder than it would be to actually interview Lucas himself. I think because I think it'd be hard for me to actually speak to George Lucas, but is then more of an easier route to go to sort of contact the right people to then get to him to say no, I don't want to do that. But then getting to his daughter is a extra step,
Yeah.
kind of more of a personal kind of. Can I speak to? I don't want to speak to George Lucas. I want to speak to his daughter. It's a bit right. It's a bit
Yeah, that doesn't sound
personal.
creepy at all.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah.
And then he says, my other question would be, does anyone have access to the copy of the unaired promo featuring Eric Walker, Audrey Miller, and Magenta Farrell as Clank? It was set in a 50s style diner and filmed without George's approval. When he saw that ABC had filmed George canned it because he didn't want his characters to be seen associated with Earth. I've never ever even heard of that before.
Hmm.
Are you
I
familiar with
mean,
that at all?
no, I'm not familiar with that one actually.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds really interesting. I wish I had that footage. I don't have that footage, but I do have. There are a good like 4 or 5 commercials what got shown on the televisions at that time. I do have some commercials, but not kind of that specific
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one from the fan chats questions. Can
Yeah,
Tom take all of us backers to Skywalker Ranch when this documentary wins awards and is screened there?
yeah. I don't know.
You have to see
Um,
how many invites you get.
yeah. I and then I don't know if Skywalker Ranch or Lucasfilm will probably love me completely
Okay,
with
fair enough.
with a little bit of the angle of how my documentary is. I don't know if they'll completely love me.
Okay, fair enough. Are they familiar? Do you think they know, or do you know if they know you're making this documentary?
Someone who still works at ILM surely must know because I've spoken to and interviewed and emailed and text so many people who had worked for Lucasfilm and ILM and stuff. So it's
Hmm.
like surely someone who still works there must know about it. Surely,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything that anyone who still like did. I haven't heard that Mickey Mouse knows that I'm doing it. But then but it's kind of like nothing in this film should infringe with copyright, like proper copyright. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. You know, there are legally, I am allowed to kind of do it. I've had that question a couple of times, sort of going,
Mhm.
the mouse will bring the hammer down on you because it's, you know, their intellectual property, their IP. But it's like, yes, technically yes, but the footage, I've been very careful. There's only a couple bits in the film what actually shows clips of the actual footage of the actual film. When it's necessary, I need to show it. It's shown, but then everything else is literally everything Eric has given me.
Yeah.
So, and Disney, Lucasfilm, they don't own any of that. Sort of, Warwick and Eric filmed and took all the pictures and filmed everything by themselves. So they sort of, Eric owns it.
Yeah.
So, and he's given me the food. So it's, yeah.
I think everyone listening to this is very familiar with the world famous the Solo Show logo. And just from a personal note, I did get a notification to not sell merchandise or T-shirts with my logo on it.
Oh, okay.
I was allowed. They never said don't use it. They just said don't be making money off of it. It was basically what I was instructed. Okay, a few quick questions. These are just kind of. This is Tom Grove. This is your own personal opinion. This has nothing to do with the Ewoks or your documentary and that. Just to kind of get to know you a little bit. Some very quick ones. What's your favorite Star Wars film?
I would have to say Star Wars: A New Hope, the first one.
Yeah.
Without that, none of this would happen.
True enough. Favorite Star Wars character? It's a toughie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. When I was younger, I grew up in the prequels era when that, like, the Clone Wars and stuff was happening, and a lot of people would probably dislike me for saying this, but I was quite a fan of Jar Jar Binks when I was younger. So I've got quite a lot of nostalgia for that character, so I'll probably say that.
Okay. If you're gonna say that, I gotta ask you now. What's your worst favorite character? Your least favorite?
I don't know.
Because 90% of the people will go, "Oh, I don't want to say Jar Jar because that's too easy." Well, you gave like the hard one for the. What's your least favorite?
Yeah, I would probably say it. I'm gonna give kind of. This is going to be a bit of a weird answer because I don't hate the character at all. I love the character and how they look, but I hate the way it was handled. Captain Phasma from the sequel trilogy is where I kind of dislike or even, like, you know, hate how she was portrayed and how kind of that character went, the story of that. But then I think that would have been a great character, but it just kind of went nowhere, did nothing really.
That's actually a really good answer. I like that answer a lot. I agree. I think I can agree with you on that one. Your favorite Star Wars scene?
I mean, again, that is a hard question. Again, I'm, like I alluded to when I answered about Jar Jar, I am a prequels kid. I would have to say the Mustafar fight, Obi-Wan and Kenobi, you know, that's just like the John Williams score and everything, and that is just genuinely like a top 5 Star Wars kind of moment anyway. But I would say because, again, blinded by nostalgia.
Well, at least he didn't say the part where Anakin was complaining how much he hated sand. At least he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere. But you like the part where he goes, "I hate you." You like that part. Your favorite Star Wars ship?
I don't know. Probably basic answer. Probably Slave One.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Probably there's quite a, you know, even though Disney says we can't call that because the Lego sets changed the names to Boba Fett's ship now.
Yeah.
It is like, okay, fine. But yeah,
it's Slave One to everybody else.
Yeah.
Your favorite Star Wars sound effect?
Oh, that this relates to Slave One. What's it called when he drops the thing and it and
Oh, the
the
sonic
seismic.
detonators, I think.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
goes off and
it's just
it attacks the
quiet.
clones on it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good sound effect.
that's a good sound. Yeah.
That's a good sound effect. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. That and the Tie Fighter. I like the Tie Fighter screechy.
Yes.
That
Yes.
one too. Oh, this was a lot of fun. I want to thank you so much for coming on, Tom.
Oh,
Anything you
thank
wanted
you.
to add that we didn't touch on?
I don't think so. I think we kind of covered quite a lot of ground.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this movie coming out. I know a lot of people
Thank you.
listening to this will be as well. Where can they follow you, or if they want to know more information about the documentary, where would they go?
If it's simple, literally just go on Google or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or whatever sort of anywhere on the internet and just search Tom Grove, my name, and then you'll see this face and then just click on that. And then and then you'll find various links and you can see everything. Okay.
Alrighty, Tom. This was a lot of fun. I want to thank you so much for your time. I know time is precious, a commodity to everybody,
Okay.
and I want to get you back on maybe when this comes out and I've actually watched
Yeah,
it and I can give
definitely.
you my
Yeah.
face-to-face opinions on it. And maybe we'll get some of the other
Oh God.
Kickstarter backers on here too. 'Cause it
Yeah.
sounds like you got a little bit of controversy scenes in there.
Yeah, there's a couple bits and pieces throughout the film that kind of criticizing Lucasfilm a little bit,
Okay, alrighty.
but
Looking forward to it.
not. Thank you.
I hate you. Like, I put that voice in of Anakin there, the burning. Alrighty, Ken, take us away to a galaxy far, far away.